Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden and I'm joined by my co-host, Donna Dunyan. Donna, take it away.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome everyone. If you are unfamiliar with the Veterans Corner, the goal of our show is to give you information and resources about events and services that are right here in our community. We are a show for veterans, by veterans, and to help support those who serve veterans. So, do you want me to just go right into it?
Sure. Let's just introduce our guest first.
Yes. So today we are joined by Paul Hoar, a U.S. Air Force veteran and board member of the Connecticut-based veteran service organization called House of Heroes Connecticut. So welcome, Paul. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your service and what the House of Heroes mission means to you and how you became involved? So give us the whole background.
Well, thanks Donna. Thanks for the invite.
It's an honor and pleasure to have you here.
Opportunity to share House of Heroes with y'all. And I'm from Southern Connecticut, so that's why I use the y'all part. I'm president currently of Agri-Fuels Air Purification Technology and in the air quality business. It's been a very busy year. And the prior to that, I was with United Technologies for 30 years, with that and Smith's Aerospace, so that's my background here in Connecticut. And I concurrently served in the military for 33 years because I joined the military when I was a junior in high school, the Air National Guard, and I went away to basic training between my junior and senior year. And then upon graduation, I went to the Naval Academy for 2 years. We didn't get along so well, so I came back. And then when I graduated, when my classmates graduated, I got my commission. And I went away to pilot training in the Air Force. And I flew fighters out of Bradley for 20 years.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your service.
And then
was that out of Bradley? Was that the A-10s or?
Yeah, I flew F-102s, F-100s, and A-10s out of Bradley, and we deployed many places. But fortunately, I was in the Guard for a period of time when nobody was shooting at me.
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate from that standpoint.
There was a time where you constantly see the A-10s here in Connecticut. I mean, over the Bristol area, you'd see them.
Right.
That's when they were stationed. They're no longer there, right?
Right. Yeah, the A-10s, it's now C-130s.
Yeah.
And so they do a transport mission as opposed to a fighter mission.
Okay.
But it's a great organization, the Guard. I would encourage every young person who doesn't know what to do when they graduate from high school and go talk to the Guard and see there's 140 different jobs. And it was very good to me and my family.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage everyone to do it. I graduated college out of Connecticut, and to carry on with the story, I have been in the association, the Army Aviation Association, Army Aviation Association of America. We call it the Quad A, and I've been VP of Scholarship for over 20 years, and that's kind of where I met Bill. And after that, I got involved with House of Heroes since 2017, and basically have been helping them out since.
Well, like Donna said, on behalf of the Veterans Corner, the viewers, we want to thank you very much for your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here.
You had mentioned Bill.
Yes.
What I don't know. This show has been around since 2013. Mm-hmm. We've taped over 150 episodes, and our very first episode was House of Heroes. It was with Bill.
Yep.
That was my very first time I hosted a show. It was definitely an experience, being the first time. But here we are, over 150 later,
yep.
And it's an honor to have your organization and you here. Being the fact that you were the very first ones on the show.
Great.
I know Dennis has been here a couple times, but thank you. Tell us a little bit about Bill and what he meant to the organization. I know he passed, was it in 2016?
2016, December, and Bill and I had been involved in the Army Aviation Association for a number of years, and that association basically raises money we give away scholarships to members, kids,
Yep.
and so we've been worked for many years. Normally we'd have 1 or 2 golf tournaments, and we'd raise enough to give away about $20,000 a year to for kids for scholarships.
Yeah.
And Bill was always right there. As you know, from a personality, he
Yeah.
was larger than life. And so we became rapid friends I'm trying to think of when I first met him, back in 08 or somewhere, and when he was working for Sikorsky at the time. And then we both got very much involved in that association. So when he started the House of Heroes in 2012, and I went to the first kind of opening, it was really a pleasure to be there and work with him a little bit and watch him grow and in the association. And basically the mission is to recognize and honor and serve the Connecticut military and public safety veterans who basically can't financially or physically maintain their homes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this fundraising that we do is for that purpose. And Bill was always in the giving part of it, and he was just a great fellow. And I enjoyed seeing him during both our Quad A meetings as well as our House of Heroes events. And then when Bill passed in December of 2016, and he said, "Would you help with the fundraising?" So that's how I basically got involved on the board.
Now, it was an actual. I mean, it was an absolute honor to have met him. Once again, not this. Say this again, very first show.
Yep.
And he actually helped me out. Just how the interview went.
Sure.
It was very informative. A couple of years later, it was hard to. Actually, 1 year later, no, 2.
13.
Yeah,
He passed.
actually 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years later,
Yeah.
it was difficult to hear of his passing.
Yeah.
So,
Young man, 58.
Yeah.
It was too bad.
On my way here tonight, I was thinking about the very first time that I actually went and helped and volunteered with House of Heroes. It was going back 8-9 years ago. So you guys have been around for a while, and even with COVID, we haven't been able to have you on the show. Can you give us an update on, how many veterans have you guys been helping? What's your schedule like for the coming season? And what the requirements are for a veteran to get help?
Sure. So basically what we do, we provide a 1-day, no-cost home improvement to our veterans who are identified. Either they volunteer. You can go to hohct.org and you can say, "I need help." That's one way to get on. And another is to have a family friend or possibly a neighbor or somebody who knows that the veteran needs help and he can't financially or physically maintain his home or her home, or we're doing spouses as well.
Yeah.
So folks that you need help, and they have to be honorably discharged.
Okay.
They have to own their own home, and they have this requirement for being a physical or financial need.
Okay.
It's interesting that the need is pretty vast because there's 2.5 million veterans heading households that are at least 55 years old, and so 24% of those have housing cost burdens. So there's really quite a large number of people out there that need this help.
Yeah.
So, and then we take a 1-day, and we'll take 20 to 30 volunteers, and roughly $5,000 worth of donated material, and that way we'll go ahead and do 6 or 8 hours of concentrated labor for repairs that are primarily safety related, sometimes the deck is bad in the back. It's rotting out.
Cosmetic issues.
And ramps,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Trying to get people in and out of the homes.
Ramps are a big thing. I know that
Yeah.
I've referred some veterans
Right.
to House of Heroes for.
Just accessibility.
Yeah.
And sometimes the shower's falling apart and you've got to replace a door there, or the stuff going down into the basement, you have railings that are a problem. So those are the kinds of things. So a lot of it has to do with repair of, structure and access. And then the yards, if they can't get out there, sometimes we'll go in and trim up the yard,
That's
or put a
a big
fence
thing.
up,
Yeah.
or because when you have a bunch of volunteers and everybody's saying, "What can I do? What can
Yeah.
I do?" You have busy hands, and you can put them all to work, digging holes and digging bushes up and that sort of thing.
What are some examples of things that you can't help with? Just to give the viewers an idea.
Yeah, we generally don't work on roofs,
Okay.
because that's a major issue, and usually the jobs are too big. So we kind of have to focus on those accessibility issues, and but those jobs that aren't, we don't rebuild houses like Habit does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humanity.
Yep.
So
Well, when you're dealing with a roof, you're obviously dealing with liability issues.
Yeah.
right,
Volunteers who may not have the experience of working on a roof.
right. So, and those skills that we do work with are the plumbers and the electricians, and especially the carpenters. And the carpenters union has been very supportive of us this year, and we're doing some major things this year. But they've been very supportive in the past. So they're basically our licensed professionals, because everything has to be to code and that sort of thing. But it's basically, how do we make a difference in a day? So that's the
Very
real focus. And as far as the numbers, we've had 164 veterans since 2012
Wow.
Wow.
that we've helped in 51 different Connecticut towns. We spent over $100,000 of services provided in 2021 alone. And then the number of volunteers that have been involved is about 250
Wow.
in last year. So these are the kinds of numbers. We did 16 homes last year, and we're hoping to do 20 this year. Because we were outdoors, and we did many of the things that are outdoors, because with COVID and stuff, we
Yeah.
weren't doing a lot of indoor stuff.
Yeah.
But so that's what we focused on, what we could do at the time.
Yep. You got to do it safely too.
Yeah,
Everybody's safety.
right.
Is there a backlog? I mean, is there a waiting list?
Unfortunately, there is.
Yeah.
And although we continue to do 16 to 20 homes is our goal, we probably have 3 times that many of people that
In need.
need things. But some of them are small jobs, and sometimes we'll do them on a maybe sneak in a Friday night to do those kinds of
Yeah.
things where they need some help, or somebody needs a furnace that's broken in the wintertime, and we'll be able to do that sort of thing that are a few hours. But many of the jobs that we choose are kind of these larger 8 hours times 20 to 30 people, so you can get a lot of labor in that focus.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, yeah. But it's very gratifying being able to do that.
I've seen a lot of the results over the years,
Yeah.
having Dennis on, or even the first show with Bill. It's extremely rewarding. 2022 is shaping up to be a big year for you guys. I understand you got a lot going on.
Yes. Yeah.
Who are your bigger sponsors? I mean, you must have sponsors.
We do. We do.
And some of the events that's going to be occurring during this.
Well, 2022 was a takeoff from basically 2021. We had our grand opening at the Hamden office in down at Whitney, off of Whitney, and that's been we have a home now,
Yeah.
so we can basically, instead of operating out of somebody's kitchen, you know. So that's been a big step for us. And we continue to have our fundraisers. We had to cancel in 21, but we had one this year. So we're back in the swing of fundraising, and we invite a lot of folks to those fundraising events. And the kinds of things that we're going to be working on this year are, it is a big project year. So we're having, let's see, 8 project weekends. So April, we've had a couple, May, June, August, September, October, and November. We have weekends where we'll do at least a Saturday. And then on Veterans Day, obviously November 12th, we'll be working. And then on Saturday, the 28th, Memorial Day, we're doing, hopefully have 5 jobs on that day. And so we have a big partnership that helps us do this is the Connecticut Carpenters Union, Local 326. And so they're going to be working on 5 projects on that Saturday. So we'll have 5 different projects working, and we'll have in 5 different towns. And the board members are going to be scattered trying to help organize all of these.
Wow.
And so it'll be
You have your hands full.
It'll be interesting, but it'll be a focused time and a focused events, because the union has been, especially over the last year and the last couple of years, they've actually entered into a partnership with us to help us do these things. Another big partner is and sponsor, Stanley has a maker's grant.
Yep.
And they've given us lots of tools that we use in these various jobs, and we'll get our trucks, and then we did get a grant for a truck this year, so we've outfitted it with the tools that Stanley has given us. And basically they're wanting to tie in the education of the schools, the youngsters. How can we get them into the crafts a little bit? So part of our task in getting the grant is, will you bring the kids in and get them exposed to some of these skills? And so we're going to be working that with them. And we've had partners, our 2 new partners. We've got Caldwell Banker Realty, Tops Marketplace. We've got a couple of Knights of Columbus assemblies in New Haven and Norwalk. And then they'll be joining our older sponsors, Sikorsky, Lockheed Martin,
Yep.
Johnson Bernetti, PCX Aerosystems, the DAV Hardware Chapter 8, and then Pratt & Whitney for Vets Employee Resource Group. So those are helping get us go towards
Got some
fundraising.
big names there.
Yep. And then we do annually we do the skydive for veterans in Ellington in September, where we all jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Not me so far. And then
They've been on the show.
The skydive group,
yeah,
we've
they're
had them
great.
on, and
It's a fun.
Going to
it's a
have them
fun
again.
day.
I mean, it's a great group of people.
And then the Golden Kielbasa has returned
With Dennis.
with Dennis.
Yeah.
He runs that.
That started, I don't know if the viewers that have watched the show in the past, but the Greater Kielbasa Open,
Yes.
that started with just, I think, a foursome. They started off as just, trying to raise money for, I forgot what event it was. I think it was a veterans event. And this has grown to be one of the largest, if not the largest, veteran fundraising golf tournament in the state. That's something that they certainly, they honor certain veterans during the course of the golf tournament, the event, and they've grown to a part where it's amazing what they've done, the dedication, the passion that they've had. Dennis and the other ones that started it.
Right, Dennis and had handled that for I think 8 years, and then we had the COVID break, but we're coming back now, and it's between $5,000 and $8,000 we normally get from those kinds of events, and our sponsors are kind of in that category. $5,000 allows us to do a project.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of shoot for that. Sikorsky has been a big sponsor with $20,000 for the last 3 years. So they're a big supporter.
Yeah.
And so it all depends, who has an idea and who wants to fund it, and we can work on those particular projects that are useful.
So I know you do the Golden Kielbasa and the skydiving, and then I think in February there's always like a Valentine's Day gala dance and everything.
Right.
But new to you, or working with you for fundraising, is the Birdies for Charity.
Right.
Can you tell the viewers a little bit about that program and how that works?
Yes, I've always been interested in the tournament, you know, and I've attended a few times. And a friend of mine said that we should try to become one of the charities that the Travelers Championship sponsors.
Yeah.
So we've signed up to be partners, and basically what it is, the PGA Tour around the country goes ahead and sponsors whatever community they're in. They sponsor these local charities, and we have our sponsors, our supporters, our donors basically buy Birdies for charity. And this was launched in 2004 in Connecticut. And so basically the Birdies for Charity program raises awareness for our cause, and then we can get the funding to go through the process of the championship from April 20th to June 26th. And basically then the money that goes into the donation kitty at that point, Webster Bank and Enterprise organization gives us an additional 15%. So if $1,000 comes in, the extra 15% goes to our charity. So we get the money from the donors plus an additional 15% by being involved in the Birdies program.
Very nice.
That's
Very
good.
nice.
Yeah.
You know, there's if somebody wanted to get involved and help out, get involved in, you know, on projects to become, you know,
Volunteer.
volunteer, part of the
Sure.
crew. How do they do that?
HOHCT.org is our website.
Yeah.
And you can go on there and you can volunteer. You can check and see what we've done in the past. You can just sign up, volunteer, and then if you have a particular skill, you let us know what your skill is, what you'd like to do. And Carol May is the executive director.
Bill's
wife, and she has carried on for Bill.
Good.
And lovely lady, and so that has helped keep the glue together.
Yeah.
For all of this. And you can just volunteer, tell us what your skill is or what you want to do, where you want to work, pick a particular project, looking at the dates and say, I want to work on this particular weekend, and we'll go ahead and sign you up.
It'd be nice maybe sometime in the future to have Caroline.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we always have room for 2 guests, and at least 2 guests, and maybe we'll have you back, or Dennis. And
Have you ever had Steve on?
Oh, Steve Kavanaugh, he's a character.
No,
He
actually,
is.
no, I haven't.
Steve
Yeah.
Kavanaugh, yeah.
See, he and Bill originally in 2012 came up with the, with the idea and
Yeah.
started this whole. And Bill, being a contractor, has been key to the whole focus of the organization,
Yeah.
along with Carol as well, and Dennis.
You know, it's here we are again. You know, these shows go by so fast. You know, we say 25 minutes, and before you know it,
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. There's so much information that could be put out and needs to be put out, and that's why we have, you know, our guests come back and return and give us updates. So that's definitely something that we'll be doing again with you guys.
Great. Well,
It was an honor to have you here,
Well,
Paul.
thank you very much, Chuck.
It was.
I appreciate
it. Was great having
Appreciate
you
it.
here. The information
It
is
is
always.
nice to have you here.
Nice to meet you, Donna.
It's, you know, that's what the show's all about, to get the word out.
Yeah.
And that's our mission, and you know, we're going to continue to do that with you.
Great.
So with that being said, we have, that's about all the time we have, actually. So you can find us on YouTube after it airs on Nutmeg TV. You can also, there's a podcast that Nutmeg has set up for us. That's a great way to, if you're driving down a road and you want to hear us, great information. Want to thank the crew, always the crew. Without the crew, we couldn't have this show. So we want to thank all those for helping out. And with that being said, till the next time, from the Veterans Corner, good night.
Riverview Apartments is Bristol's 2-time beautification award-winning residence community for adults age 55 and older. They offer 1 or 2 bedroom apartments with modern appliances, air conditioning, wall-to-wall carpet, and tiled floors. Both heat and hot water are included. Riverview also offers a wide range of activity rooms that include a billiard parlor and a spacious community room. It is handicap accessible with safe, secure parking for tenants and ample off-street parking for visitors. 860-940-6757 or riverviewbristol.com.